Hi there. Yes, a bit different for this Friday report from the Dutch Grand Prix because I'm actually at Silverstone at the Revival, as it's now called. Used to be called the Silverstone Classic. Lots going on here. Lots of cool people, all Formula One related. Just bumped into Dick Scammell, who was chief mechanic on Jim Clark's car, of course, in the mid-1960s. Anyway, let's move on to Zandvoort because it is the end of the August break, even though we're still in August. Seems as if we're starting a bit early again. Friday, if you're a Dutch fan, massively rooting for Max Verstappen. Not a great day for Max. Not a great look for Red Bull at the moment. Max and Sergio Perez pretty comprehensively behind McLaren and Mercedes, or Mercedes and McLaren, whichever order you want to look at, as we go into the weekend, both on light fuel and on the fuel runs. Max in the morning session pretty wet, and right at the end able to get out on softs. Max timing his last run almost to the millisecond, going to the top of the list, but just behind him, and taking second flag, just behind him was Lando Norris, who went quickest in the morning. In the afternoon, though, it was George Russell quickest for Mercedes. It was a 1-3 for Mercedes. George and Lewis both looking very, very good on light fuel and heavy fuel on the Mercs, as did McLaren. This time it was Oscar Piastri quicker than Lando Norris, but very, very little in it. Around Zandvoort, short lap, not a particularly interesting circuit these days. Lots of nice graphics you see, particularly from the bank corners, but they don't add that much to the challenge for the drivers around Zandvoort. If you've got a reasonably good car now with good balance, good grip, high downforce, of course, it is the hardest of the Pirelli tyres. But if you've got a new set of tyres and you've got good balance, good grip, that's why we're seeing such close competitive lap times. And that's why it's going to be relatively difficult for Red Bull to have any sort of advantage, Max Verstappen particularly, around Zandvoort because of the nature of the circuit. If the McLaren is pretty good, it's going to be seriously quick. If the Mercedes is pretty good, it's going to be seriously quick. I suppose the big question mark at the moment is where were Ferrari? Well, Charles Leclerc was only 9th on the day, a few lock-ups, 9th on the soft tyres, and Carlos Sainz went out very late in the afternoon session and was way down the bottom of the list. Didn't even run soft tyres. Didn't have time to run the soft tyres. So Ferrari at the moment looking to be on the back foot in terms of homework and the amount of data they've got. Mercedes looking good, as I say. Lewis, I thought looked really nice in what we saw of him. George exceptionally quick, again right on the edge. And very, very close again between the two McLaren drivers, and expect more fireworks between them this weekend for sure. Lando looking good, but Oscar Piastri matching him all the way in terms of what he's able to do with the car. Just to recap, as they finished on Friday, George Russell and Lewis Hamilton first and third for Mercedes, Oscar Piastri, Lando Norris second and fourth for McLaren Mercedes, Max Verstappen fifth, and the Red Bull Hyundai's teammate Sergio Perez down in 12th place. Fernando Alonso 6th in the Aston Martin Mercedes. Yuki Tsunoda also looking good in the Biza Cash App Honda. Kevin Magnussen 8th in the Haas Ferrari. Haas again having a very good day, good looking day, although Nico Hulkenberg had a big lose at the end of the straight, said something locked the rear brakes and had a bit of a biff into the fence on the outside. Charles Leclerc 9th in the Ferrari, and rounding out the top 10, Alex Albon in the Williams Mercedes, again looking strong. As I say, a bad day for Carlos Sainz, got very little data, very little running, so question marks there around Ferrari so far. But around Zandvoort, it's going to be really tight. It's a short lap. It's amongst the teams that are now going quite well and have either surpassed or right up there with Red Bull because of the order of things. It's going to be very close between Mercedes, McLaren and Red Bull, of course, and those, I'd say 5 drivers, but I suspect Sergio Perez will be up there. It's difficult for Sergio to be slow around here, I think. He didn't look too bad in the car, just never got in a good lap. A lot of traffic, as ever, around Zandvoort. But we wait. It'll be a great race in that sense. It'll be close. It'll be full of traffic. It'll be full of politics, probably. A lot of team order stuff coming in, maybe. We've seen that before around Zandvoort. And, of course, at McLaren, there will be fireworks if there's close racing between Lando and Oscar Piastri. Ever more so those points that Lando threw away in the Hungarian Grand Prix, looking to be ever more valuable, as if we didn't know that at the time. So I'm wearing the Jetcraft cap as usual. A big congratulations to them, but even more so to Jack Doohan, who's now been confirmed as the Alpine race driver for 2025 alongside Pierre Gasly. That's a really good choice by Alpine, I think. And Jetcraft, been backers of Jack from Formula 4, I think, certainly Formula 3, Formula 2, right through the feeder formulas. So congratulations to both parties. Great to see that. Jack, a driver with a lot of talent, and deserves that opportunity. So this is a quick video. As I say, I'm on the road at the moment at the Silverstone Revival. I'll be back at the studio tomorrow as normal. Look forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, big thanks to Jetcraft, to OEM Exclusive, and to TrackNinja, and of course to you, the viewer, for watching. See you tomorrow.